Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first Chatrealm Podcast Awards for the 2012 year. I am your host, Roberto Villegas, and joining me as my co-host tonight for the festive awards, Padre Robert Ballecer.
Indeed, thank you for inviting me. It's great to be here. I mean, Chatrealm is, for all intents and purposes, Twit. So, of course, the Chatrealm Awards are the most prestigious thing that we can possibly hand out. I'd say they're even more important than the Winter Movie Draft.
Absolutely. It's probably the most prestigious of all awards. It is ran by Chatrealm. Of course, if you want to join us here in the chat, if you're watching live and you're not certain where to go to irc.chatrealm.us. If that makes no sense to you, just go to nsfwshow.com and you can actually join the chat and kind of have fun. But yeah, no, these are actually really fun awards ran by Chatrealm. A lot of funny categories, a lot of really important categories. And I'm actually quite excited because we've got a whole bunch of stuff. So let's just jump into the first category, which is Best Podcast We've Never Heard of. These are podcasts that apparently no one's ever heard of, though we might have heard a couple of them. I'm going to read the nominees, and I think it's going to end up being handled that. We might just pass it off and on between you and I, where I read one, you read another one, and kind of go that way. So here are the nominees for Best Podcasts We've Never Heard of. Bridge to the Future, International Waters, It Needs More Des, The Art of Wrestling Podcast, and The Infinite Loop Show. Apparently,
and true to form, I have not heard of any of these podcasts.
It Needs More Des is actually a podcast that I'm kind of aware of. It's actually being done by some friends of mine, specifically Ash and Brandon Cooper, some really good friends of mine in terms of that. The Art of Wrestling Podcast, of course, being done by PD Rave. The other ones I'm not certain familiar with either, but who knows? That's why I've never heard of. So who's our winner for this one? Let's see how the percentages dropped out, or how everything's settled, as they say. The winner is, here, I'll just do some cheesy drum roll. Uh-oh, let's see who it is. And the award goes to It Needs More Des as the
shocker. It's a shocker, I tell you.
It's a total shocker. The podcast is not even quite launched yet. It's still in its beta phase, but apparently everybody loves the anime. It's actually an anime-based podcast. Like I said, ran by Brandon Cooper, King Kaz there of Chatrealm. I'm not sure if we're going to get him on the line to accept the award, but regardless of it, you have won the award, and I wish I had a prize for you, but I think everybody, if you come to Austin, Texas for South by, I'll make sure to get you a drink. How about that? Every award winner will get a free drink on Robert Villegas here. That's kind of surprising. I'm actually glad it's people I happen to know that are winning these awards. So let's move on to the next award category. In fact, I'm going to pass it on to you, Padre. You read off the awards for best podcast nobody listens to.
That's right. We've got the category Best Podcast That Nobody Listens To, and we've got quite a distinguished list of nominees. First being Chaos Buffering, moving on to Frame Rate, and of course, I'm not really sure I've heard of this before, but NSFW Show, whatever that means.
I've never heard of that show. It's kind of weird.
Yeah,
but
it's kind of, oh well, I guess it takes all types. Then we've got the Chibi Project. Or is that Shibby?
That's Chibi.
You know what? I'm gonna call it Shibby just because I love saying Shibby. But it's probably Chibi. And then the Paul Goebel Show.
This is actually a very interesting award because obviously this goes to people that apparently podcasts are great that nobody ever listens to. Podcast on here, of course, is Chaos Buffering, Josh Hilp's podcast. We got Frame Rate, which is, of course, the podcast on the Twit Network done by Mr. Brian Brushwood and Tomas Marit. NSFW show, of course, who knows what that show is, but whatever, it's on the awards. It could be cool. The Chibi Project, of course, is Patrick Delahanty's show where they end up taking Sailor Mini Moon, as people know, or Chibi Usa, however you want to call it, depending from the Sailor Moon series, little figure, and put it in crazy destruction forms. And they also do other kind of fun stuff in terms of destroying very, very popular anime toys. And I don't even know what I don't know what the Paul Goebel show is. Do you happen to know what that is, Padre?
I watched about 15 seconds of it, which means that I now consider myself an expert in all things Paul Goebel. And it seems to be kind of a, stream of consciousness, things he's watching, things that he's interested in. True podcast.
Yeah, of course, totally. That's exactly the kind of show that will succeed. So then, Padre, who was our winner?
Well, let me open up this super high-tech envelope that contains the winners, as well as a dose of emergency. And drum roll, please. Do we have a soundboard for drum roll? Just. And I have to wait for my screen to refresh because I'm not really sure how to read these numbers. But yes, we have a winner. Actually, Chatrealm sees it before I do.
And the winner is Frame Rate.
Frame Rate.
Oh, apparently nobody listens to Frame Rate, and I don't know why, but apparently.
I know. Wait. I need a clarification on that because this is supposed to be the podcast that nobody listens to. I'm pretty sure NSFW show and Frame Rate should have been disqualified. I'm calling shenanigans here.
No. This is the podcast that nobody listens to. Nobody listens to Frame Rate, but it's the best podcast that nobody listens to. That's how these awards show.
Fix. I tell you.
These are not false facts. These are all truthful things. We went to the audience and we figured out, we compiled all the numbers and put it together in a very clean and crisp package. And this is what the people have spoken. Yeah, honestly, though, congratulations to Frame Rate for winning the good prestigious award. I guess the drink will go to Tom on that one because I already owe Brian a drink or two for something else.
And actually, their gift is the previously opened pack of Emergency. So I'll hand this off next week.
Make sure if Tom comes to South by, he'll get a Whataburger on me because he doesn't get that in California. Now we're on to the next category, which I still don't understand this category. It's the Chris Ronan category, from what I understand. Best podcast hosted by an atheist squirrel juggler based in South America. Okay. I guess these are just this is the atheist award, which is kind of fun. Anyways, up for the award we have the Geologic Podcast, the Nerdist Podcast, Penn Sunday School, the South American Football Show, and Weird Things. I don't know what that is. Do you know what that show is, Padre?
I've never heard of it before, and it sounds just disaster. Sounds like total disaster.
Horrible, and I'm fairly certain that the Nerdist will take it because the Nerdist is a very professional show, and they have money, whereas Weird Things I've never heard of, so I assume they don't have money. And we obviously know that money is what makes great podcasts. So let's go to the awards. Let's see who wins. Drum roll, please. This is really hurting, by the way. And I'm waiting for my screen to refresh too. And the award is
well, look at that. Fart in my biscuit. It's the Weird Things Podcast.
Things Podcast has, in fact, won the best podcast hosted by an atheist squirrel juggler based in South America. I don't know how that works out, but congratulations for winning the crazy award.
You can't make this up, folks. You can't make this up. This is pure entertainment.
Oh, it is. It's a great award name. It was apparently the award suggestion came from, I think, Chris Ronan or they're in Chatrealm. And I never understood why, but it made sense. And hey, whatever works. Congratulations to Weird Things. Justin, whenever you come to South by, I will get you a drink for not only your birthday, but also for winning the award. So congratulations, sir.
And Justin, when you come back to the Brick House, I will get you a drink from the refrigerator.
Oh, yeah, you see, I will pay for the drink, and you will just steal it from the Twit funds. So what's our next category, sir? Mr. Padre.
The next category is best video podcast that would be better with audio only. So I believe we're now moving into that realm of insulting nominations, which I like because the very first nominee is G4TV.com. It's their web shows. I'm not sure if you've heard of G4TV before, but they're best known for Cops, Ninja Warrior, and Dashing Dreams. Our second nominee is Indie Love Live Show, but the fact that it has indie and love in it just makes me really, really want to watch it. The third nominee is the Kevin Pollak's Chat Show. The fourth is, you may have heard of this somewhat popular web show called The Morning Stream. And the final nominee for best video podcast that would be better with audio only is This Is Only a Test. And if we please could get the drum roll and spin the little numbers on screen so we know who is our winner.
All right, drum roll here.
Good.
And our winner is...
Oh, in a squeaker. Oh, okay.
Just there event, the G4 TV web show. So that means if you enjoy things like episodes, no, CSI is what's on Spike. Yeah, they just, I don't think this could happen to a better area of content. G4, of course, is the reason why we don't have Tech TV anymore. But for those who are wondering, well, why don't we have Tech TV anymore? We should have Tech TV back. If Tech TV was still around, we wouldn't have Twit. So always remember that, people. I think it's very important.
That's a confusing category, though, because there are some podcasts that seem to have been honestly nominated as a serious endeavor to get them known. G4 TV, it's an obvious dig, but that's okay. You know what? We're all the same here in Chatrealm, and G4 TV, you are just as welcome to Chatrealm as Steve Roos. Let's go on to the next category, yeah?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Let's move on. That being Best Analog Podcast. This goes to newsletters because that's what analog podcasts are. And up for those awards are Bullseye, Ham Nation, Project Panda, and This Week in Laser Discs, formerly Laserdisc Quarterly. I didn't realize This Week in Laserdisc was actually a fully podcast. I thought it was just sort of a really fun joke and gag. But Ham Nation, does Ham Nation count as an analog-only podcast, Padre?
I don't know, but if Project Panda deals with that delicious, low-quality Chinese food, I am so down with that.
Oh, yes, it is all about the newsletter that Panda Express ships out. Anyways, let's move on to the winners. Then the winner is...
Come on, T2, get with it.
We're all delayed. The winner is, holy crap, it is This Week in Laserdiscs. If only we had...
Actually, I just watched a little bit of the Project Panda newsletter, and every episode ends with, now I have diarrhea. So, yes, I guess it probably does belong to Laserdisc. Fantastic.
So congratulations to Steve McTuller-Tutter. If we get him on the air sometime in the middle of the show, we'll talk to them because we're getting to some weird things now in terms of stuff. We've got, of course, best intro song in terms of the award winner.
Woot.
We've got. Wait, I take it back. It's not my turn anymore. It's Padre. It's your turn for best.
It's my turn. What the hell are you doing? You know what? Get back in the shadows. I'm taking my time. First nominee. Jury's live stream / whatever he does on Saturday / jury talks / jury stares funnily at the camera. I added that last bit, but it seemed apropos. Second nominee is OMG Craft, put on by our very own nuclear red-haired TD, OMG Chad. Third is Tech News Today. I don't know what it's doing in here. They get enough awards. Really, they should get no more love from Chatrealm. The next one is, it's the Chibi Project comes back for another round. Fantastic. It's always good to see the newcomer. And finally, Throwing Shade. Now, who's going to come to the top of this way bucket? Let's find out. T2, can you roll the magic numbers, please? And blammo. We've got OMG Craft pulling out the win. That's right. Our very own red-headed stepchild of a TD, OMG Chad, pulls it out of his mind.
Yes. OMG Craft has finally won an award. It's interesting because OMG Craft is not officially on the Twit Network, yet uses the Twit Network resources. I've always been impressed the fact that Chad Johnson pulls a Kevin Smith and takes advantage of his environment to make a podcast. And so congratulations to OMG Craft for winning Best Intro Song. And if ever the person who made the intro song, I forgot who did it off the top of my head. If you'd like to come on the show and say hi, we can definitely get you in here. But let's move on.
Well, hold up a bit. Wait a minute. Chad Johnson does what to Kevin Smith?
Okay, so Kevin Smith has always had a policy when it came to making Clerks that, take advantage of what's around your surrounding, what you have available at you. For him, he happened to have a convenience store. El Mariachi has always been that they got that what's his face? I forgot the director off the top of my head. Has always said, I have a turtle, I have a guitar case, and I have a truck. And so he made a movie based on that. What Chad does is that he has at his disposal Twit Studios, and he makes a podcast based on that. Or at least that he has that studio to his hand. I say that in terms of he does a good job at using what's around him to do it. And congratulations for winning. But let's just move on to here's where we get to the actual nitty-gritty categories, Padre. That being the best beard. I think this is the most important award of the show, to be honest.
Well, this is the big one for me.
Oh, God, yes. This is the big one for everybody. So let's go on to our nominees for Best Beard. We've got Bonnie Brushwood, Josh Connolly of Film Riot, Old John Smokey from the NSFW show, Patrick Rothfuss from the NSFW show, and Tom Merritt of Tech News Today, Twit's very own. Tom Merritt coming in for the award. This is actually pretty...
I just understood the Bonnie Brushwood joke. Got it. Chatrealm, you're awesome.
And the award for Best Beard. It is, in fact...
And boom goes the dynamite.
And it is Justin Robert Young of the... No, sorry. Tom Merritt of the NS...
Oh. Hello? Well, we seem to have lost something. At least I hope I'm still live. Tom Merritt of Tech News Today takes the award. And I think I just lost my Yes, I did lose my co-host. How about that? That's the things that happen when you are doing things that are happening. Anyways, I do want to offer condolences to Bonnie Brushwood. I believe that she really got cheated. She should have taken this award. There's no question in my mind that she is the best beard of all time. Now, while T2 tries to get back our esteemed co-presenter of awards, I'm going to move on to the next category, and that would be the worst beard. That's right. Just as we had Best Beard, who I believe, again, Bonnie Brushwood was robbed, we've got the worst beard in podcasting. Our nominees start with Allison Rosen from Allison Rosen is Your New Best Friend. You know she's mine. Second, we've got Ashley Paramore from Jury Talks. Next up is Brian Brushwood himself from the NSFW show. Doubling up on NSFW is Justin Robert Young, who tries to show us exactly how a scraggly ass beard is supposed to look. And finally, confusing the absolute crap out of me, nominated for Best Beard and Worst Beard, Tom Merritt from Tech News Today. And T2, if you'll roll them charms, let's find out who our winner is.
Let's see who it is, people. And yes, I am back, by the way. Oh my God! It is, in fact, Brian Brushwood for Worst Beard. Who would have thought, because it's funny, that the highlight is actually wrong on the document sheet. So apparently it looks like people who thought it was one person, turns out it was wrong, and it was robbed again. Congratulations to Brian Brushwood for having the worst beard on the planet. And again, I owe you 2 drinks now. I hope you enjoy it. I had a weird issue. It looked like Log Me In decided to lock my screen for some bizarre reason. It was very strange and peculiar. But let us move on to the next award, that being Best Visual Representation of Tom Merritt's beard on a podcast. That means the best, video version of his little thingy, that being his beard. We got, of course, as the first nomination part, Old John Smokey at NSFW, or on NSFW at DragonCon 2012. The Pipe Smoker of the Year, Tech News Today, Topless Tom Merritt's Beard, NSFW Show, episode 151, and his beard is out of this world, which I guess is some YouTube video.
I guess.
Yes, I don't know, but apparently everyone likes Tom Merritt's beard. So let's just figure out which is the best visual representation of Tom Merritt's beard. Drum roll, please. Holy crap, it is old John Smokey who won the best visual representation of Tom Merritt's beard. Unfortunately, we don't have the time to get old John Smokey on the show. I do apologize, people, but don't worry, we'll get him on some other time in the future. We just don't have the time. We got to keep the show rolling and moving and everything else. So let's move on to the next category. Padre, take it away, sir.
The next category is Best Ego Stroke, or also known as Best Brian Brushwood Guest Appearance. We've got a couple of fantastic nominees in this category. We're starting with Film Riot in the episode Skydiving with Visual Effects, followed by FSL Tonight, The Champs. Would you believe it? Of course, they are accompanied by Happy Hour, New Super Mario Brothers U. And of course, it wouldn't be complete without My So-Called 8-Bit Life. I believe that's a podcast put on by an absolutely fantastic host. It's the MacGyver Plunger episode. You've heard of that podcast, right?
Oh, yeah, I've heard of it. It's a very, very well done podcast. I always like the
I'd say it's
chiptune
charming. It is absolutely charming. And of course, the slate is filled out by the slate.
Woo! Now, let's see who won.
Folks, as T2T2 rolls this, you may think that something like this, like these podcast awards, just come together with no effort whatsoever. Let me tell you, we've got a team of trained monkeys in the back rolling these titles, coming up with these polls, and it's just magic. It's freaking magic. It's like Jesus Christ freezing a cracker with fish. I read that in a Bible somewhere. Magic. So, T2, roll it. And the winner is...
My So-Called 8-Bit Life, the MacGyver Plunger. Chatrealm, thank you for actually giving me the award. I know that it's a silly award show and that all award shows are silly, but I find this actually being a very humbling award for me because it's actually people that I care about voting for my podcast for something. So please, thank you for the award, and I guess I owe myself a drink now. So thank you, Chatrealm, for voting for My So-Called 8-Bit Life. I finally won an award. Woohoo. Let's move on to the next category. That being, let's see, we're at best, let's see, where were we at? We were at, I kind of lost my place in there. Okay, here we go. We're best Justin Robert Young guest appearance, the jury award, if you will. Coming up on that one, we've got, just waiting for the video to get there. We got OMG Craft episode 19, Craft On the Media, Scam School, Make Sweet Music at the Bar with Straws, The Gizwiz, Black and Blue Friday, and The Morning Stream. Apparently he's always on that show. Let's just go to there and see who won this one, because ultimately a lot of these shows we're very familiar with. We've already had a couple of these come up before. So let's see, what could possibly be the winner for this award? Oh my God, bam. OMG Craft won again. Holy crap, congratulations to Chad Johnson's team and having the best Justin Robert Young guest appearance.
OMG is just running away.
Have you seen that episode yet, Padre?
I have. That's actually phenomenal. It's quite, I mean, all kidding aside, if you haven't seen OMG Craft episode 19, go download it right now because that is some good shit.
Yeah, it is definitely a very, very awesome show, and Chad puts his heart and soul. A lot of Chatrealmers are involved, and I think our T2T2 helps out, and Cheeto of Chatrealm. So a lot of people put their heart and soul into that show. So congratulations to you guys for getting an award. Let's move to the next award, that being Best Podcast That Need to Get Their Shit Together. Take it away, Padre.
That's right. Now, there are a lot of podcasts that qualify for this, but the top 5 were first, or 6, what, 5, 6? I can't count. First being Chaos Buffering. That's right. They're a podcast that needs to get their shit together. Second out of the chute, so to say, metaphorically, and kind of funny with the poo-poo joke, Die in a Fire. Third up is Hypothetical Help. followed by international waters. And the only reason why I'm doing this quickly is because I want to see if T2T2 can stay on the button. Next up is the Dana Gold Hour. And if I go any further than that, I'm actually going to be running into the next category, so I need to stop now. And T2T2, if you will roll those titles for us, our winner is...
Holy crap, Dying of Fire! The audio podcast for the Chatrealm long-time fan fiction. Apparently we need more chapters to record it, and they need to get their shit together. So, that means we need more Dying of Fires, if I understand it correctly.
In a landslide, it looks like Chatrealm's telling them to get their shit together.
They're saying they want more Jury and Brian reading official fan fiction, and making it canon in the series, so to speak. Well, let's move on to the next category, that being Best Live Show done Thursdays at 7 p.m. Pacific Time. We, of course, have Drunk Kids Gaming, that being Brian Curley and his sister Jessica's show. OMG Craft, yet again. And the Initiative Check, done by the token Brit at indie-love.com, James Bartholomew. Let's just jump into the winner, because ultimately, these are kind of, newer podcasts, and I'm fairly certain that one of them will win, if anything. I'm fairly certain. Who knows? Maybe no one will win one day. Maybe we'll get an award that has no winners. And I can't believe it. OMG Craft Test won again because everybody loves Chad.
That sounds like a bad sitcom.
It is a bad sitcom. In fact, it's Chad Johnson, and of course, maybe Jammer B as the father figure or something like that.
Coming next year to the Chatrealm Awards, everyone loves Chad.
Exactly. Apparently, OMG Craft is sweeping, as predicted, sweeping the Chatrealm Podcast Awards. That was a side bet. But let's move on to Best Canceled Podcast. I'm going to say take it away.
I love this. This is a great category. It's got a lot of podcasts that are vying for top spot in Best Canceled Podcast, starting, of course, with all of G4 TV. No. 365 Days of Astronomy. Followed by a personal favorite of mine, Forecast, which, if there's any justice in the world, will win, but there's not, so, oh well, suck it. Then by Game On, a little-known podcast written by our very own Justin Robert Young and acted in by Veronica Belmont and Brian Brushwood. And the Chronicles of Chatrealm, which, oddly enough, I believe just chronicled Chatrealm. And finally, the last nominee in Best Canceled Podcast, The Totally Rad Show.
Totally rad show. Totally rad. Totally rad show. Totally
rad. So roll them titles, roll them bones, and let's see what comes up. Boom.
Boom. Oh my God. Of course, what could it be better than Game On, the failed video game show on the Twit network? I really wish that would have taken off. It was actually a pretty fun gaming show. I thought it really could have done well and been something a little bit more unique to happen. I've said my piece on it many a times in various forms. I won't put it here. But I really wish Game On would still be on the air. I thought it was a very, very creative and well-done gaming podcast show for sure. Sadly, though, Totally Rad Show didn't win. I figured that was going to be the winner, or Forecast, because Forecast is awesome too. But let's move on to the more insulting category, podcasts that should have been canceled last April. These are podcasts that we feel should be, gone, left the world. On the award, we have Collection DX, Game On, Security Now with episodes longer than 60 minutes, The Adam Carolla Show, and the Grandma's Virginity Podcast. I don't even know what that is, but apparently it's about a grandma and her virginity. Let's just go to the award because, everything else. Holy crap, people wanted the Adam Carolla Show canceled. No one loves the show. People are kind of angry at it. Have you ever seen that podcast? Have you seen the Carolla Show?
I've watched it for about a minute, and then I decided that I would rather watch paint dry.
that bad? Because I get to see it, and I imagine it is.
No, it's not bad. I actually really enjoy watching paint dry.
Oh, okay. Well, fair enough. I'm not a big fan of paint dry, and so I know what to avoid podcasts. I'm surprised that I'm really surprised that Game On was nominated both for best canceled podcast and should have been canceled podcast. It could have taken both the alpha and the omega for that award.
But you know, that's just what we expect out of Chatrealm.
Exactly.
You know what? Let's move on to the last award, because you know what? I do want to talk about the podcast that wins the award for most gratuitous use of fuck in a podcast. Starting with the BB Live Show, episode 53. If you haven't picked up that little ditty, you need to stick it on your iTunes thingy, download button, clicky thing. Followed by Jay Brushwood. I am detecting a theme here. The NSFW Show, episode 127, Pizza! Sorry, I just overblew your microphone. Followed by Justin Robert Young, the LA Rant. And yes, that is pretty epic.
It was.
And the penultimate nominee, also Justin Robert Young, in the Twit Hype Man.
What y'all motherfuckers know about this award show?
Exactly. And finally, we got Justin Robert Young, the black comic who makes Doctor Who references.
God almighty. This is one of those awards that I always want to say the most gratuitous use of the word fuck in a serious podcast. And that is a Hitchhiker's Guide reference. Let's just go with the award. Who wins it?
Oh.
Holy crap. It is, of course, the Twit Hype Man.
Twit Hype Man. But I do got to say that this list of nominees looks like a big sausage fest hot tub reunion of Brian Brushwood and Justin Robert Young. I do believe there were more gratuitous uses of fuck in podcasts, but you know what? We got that kind of bro love for them. You know what I'm saying?
It's okay. I think what it is that when you let Jury go unhinged, especially as the Hype Man, great and awesome things happen. It's hard to put on Twit, but you know it makes a word for fun document. Let's move on to the best of 2012 award show. This is sort of your podcast episodes that have the best of 2012 in them. Up for this award, Anime Cons TV, the 2012 year in review, Dave Damashek football program, the Shecky Awards, My So-Called 8-Bit Life, the Mondo Best of 2012, the 2012 Chatrealm Podcast Awards, and the Adam Carolla Show, the 2012 ACE Awards. I'm glad to be up for this award, too, to be honest. And I'm going head-to-head against Mr. Patrick Delahanty's Anime Cons TV. So who knows? Maybe one of us will win. Let's see who everyone voted for. Drum roll, please.
Boom.
Holy crap, none of us won. It is, in fact, the 2012 Chatrealm Podcast Awards. But technically, what that means, Padre, is that you and I won an award. Because we're hosting this whole thing.
Oh, by the way, this is infinitely regressive, so my mind just exploded.
We're in an infinite loop that we cannot escape.
We are
But let's escape it and go to Best Worst Podcast. Sir?
Yeah, that's right. Best Worst Podcast. We've got a couple of great nominees for this very confusing style of category. The first being the BB Live Show, followed very closely by Jury Saturday. And of course, how could we not forget our best worst podcast, NSFW Show, followed by the Grandma's Virginity Podcast. Most things are followed by the Grandma's Virginity. And finally, because we can't, Twit.
Yes, of course. Twit has to be on there for the
Twit has to be on there. And T2, if you hit the magic button, please. Boom.
Holy crap. The NSFW show has won Best Worst Podcast. I consider that the BB Live Show Award, so congratulations to Brian Brushwood and Justin Robert Young for showing that they can win an award too. I kind of figured Twit would win just for the heck of it because it'd be kind of fun and silly to do, but, what can you do, right?
Snap.
Let's move on to Best Podcast. We're finally in the last two awards, Padre. These are like the Best Movie Awards, and we haven't had any sappy...
Are we still going? Wait, are we done yet?
We're almost done. We got two more awards.
because I got to shoot up.
It's okay. All right, let's move on. Here we go. Best podcast is, of course, we have up for the award Anime Cons TV, My So-Called 8-Bit Life, NSFW Show, The Comedy Button, and The Morning Stream. Holy crap, this is going to be fun because I'm once again up against Delahanty. Let's see who wins. Drum roll, please. And the winner goes to... Holy crap, the NSFW show has won the award. I thankfully have it highlighted here under Best Podcast, so I don't need to see the darkening thing. I can just tell you guys the winner.
I got to tell you, I do not know what's going on right now.
It is called graphical errors. We are like I said, we're flying dangerously close to the sun. But thankfully, we have our document here highlighted correctly. So congratulations to the NSFW show for winning yet another award for Best Podcast because they didn't win the podcast awards. And Padre, you have the honor of doing the last award. So
absolutely. Now, I'd have to say that this is the most important award because you know what, Chatrealm it's a close-knit community. It's filled with a bunch of people who really should be on the stream because hell, it's Chatrealm, right? So, yeah. Best podcast made by a Chatrealmer. Anime Cons TV is our first nominee, followed by a little podcast I like to call My So-Called 8-Bit Life.
Once again nominated.
Once again nominated. It's an honor just to be nominated, remember.
Oh, totally.
Also, we've got OMG
Once
Craft. Again nominated. It's an honor just to be nominated. Then the Chibi Project, which, by the way, is the third time the Chibi Project was nominated during these Chatrealm Awards. Mm-hmm. And finally... the Twitcraft podcast.
TCPC.
That's right. T2, do your magic.
Let's see who wins. Uh-oh. Jeez, he's voting. Apparently he's still voting. Oh. He's just going to zoom into the thing.
What is going on?
Where we get to see the data now. Best podcast made by Chatrealmer is, in fact... OMG Craft has won yet again because everybody loves Chad and nobody loves me, Patrick, or Brian Curley.
I think Twyat got robbed.
I think I got robbed. I think we all got robbed. Chad, congratulations for winning. And that. Well, that's pretty much all the awards, sir. Padre, I know you probably have to go somewhere. It sounds like you're kind of in a hurry. So tell people where they can find you online and what you're doing, sir.
You can find me online by going to thetechstop.net. That's TheTechStop.net. I do a variety of different types of content, but the number one has to be This Week in Enterprise Tech on the Twit Network, filming every Monday at noon Pacific. Also, you can download our episodes from twit.tv/Twyat, where I spend most of my time huddled next to OMG Chad's balls just to get some of his luck.
That's all you can need. I may have to start doing that myself. Of course, you can find me. I'm at Vincent404 there on the Twitters. If you like a lot of my weird, geeky stuff, if you happen to like that, go check out my podcast, My So-Called 8-Bit Life, at mysocalled8bitlife.com. And again, special thanks to T2T2 for handling the code, for tallying up all the votes and all the nominations, and for running this show, too. So honestly, thank you, sir, for doing everything that you do for Chatrealm. This would not have happened if it weren't for T2T2. So everyone on Twitter, give him a big round of applause, because none of this would have been possible if T2T2 did not take the initiative and code up something awesome. So awesome thanks to you, sir. Well, that's it. So until next year, we come back with the same nominations, maybe a couple more categories. We'll see what happens. Take care.
And I just want to say farewell from the Chatrealm Podcast Awards 2012. And remember, there are no losers, just people who slept with Steve Roos's mom.
Exactly.